Bear with me. I'm trying to get you guys all in here. I'm trying. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is we're doing. Hi, how you doing? I hope you guys can hear me.
Hi, Patty. How are you? Welcome back.
I'm, I'm good. I'm ready for Friday. I'll tell you guys this, okay, before everybody joins us. I don't like being a renovator. Um, Hi everybody. Just in case you're not in the loop as to what's going on. I have tenants too. I too am a landlord. Um, my family home became vacant, and it's my grandparents' house and then my parents' house, and now it's mine. Um, it's really hard as a landlord to emotionally detach yourself from your family house. Okay. I rented my family home and I am regretting it. Not that my tenants were horrible, okay? I'm not saying that, but they didn't treat my family home like I would have treated it. So I'm renovating. I'm laying hardwood floor. Yes, I'm doing that myself. God love my brother and sister because they're workhorses for me. um, I'm moving. I'm going to move back into my family home. So I am laying hardwood flooring and painting. And yes, I have been renovating. And this is the part of being a landlord Patty doesn't like. Patty doesn't like physical labor. So I'm having a hard time as an owner having to correct somebody else's wear and tear. And I'm choosing my words carefully so that I'm not offensive or upsetting in any way, shape, or form, because wear and tear is just part of being a landlord, but it is very frustrating when it happens on an investment property that you hold dear to your heart. So remember that, okay? Sometimes it's easier to let that family home go, sell it. I mean, because it's just like my grandmother planted that tree and you removed it, and you got to take those emotions out of the equation, or you'll be very disappointed with humanity. Just saying. um, yeah, thank you, Arlene. Thank you. I'm moving into mine. And a great example. My sister planted an ocotillo cactus at our family home. Okay. The tenants brought all of their grandbabies home to that house as this is home. So they raised all their grandchildren there over the course of time. I mean, the tenants lived there for 10 years. So they removed the stickery ocotillo cactus so that their grandbabies didn't get poked. I get it. But my sister planted that. So it's hard when you're emotionally invested. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yes, Patty is a renovator now. I'm laying hardwood floor. Looks great, by the way. And yeah, I'm spending my evenings and weekends painting and doing that sort of thing. So currently I'm spending Mondays dedicated to my house so that I can get that rocking and rolling. Okay, let's not talk about me anymore because I'm boring. Let's talk about you and what you need and how you need assistance and how I can assist you.
Patty, how are you dealing with insurance rate increases and lack of insurance willingness to deal with new coverages? And it's just getting really harder and harder. Well, how do you see what we should do?
I met an insurance broker and I kind of put you guys on pause. Can you still hear me out there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm looking through my phone to find the answer for you. Does that make sense? So through AGLA, the Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles, I ended up going to a charity golf event. Yes, Patty doesn't play golf, but I played golf that day. And I actually met a really cool insurance broker And I'm looking for his name because I've given his information to a couple of my clients, and they have actually been able to insure them, and nobody else was able to. So this is an insurance brokerage, and just bear with me, you guys, because I'm diligently looking. And I played golf a while ago. I know his name's Brad. Just hang on, because I've even called him myself. I got to scroll back through my messages and whose information I gave him to last. But so far he's done an absolutely incredible job with providing insurance where I didn't think that we would be able to. And I'm not going to find his information because I am falling on deaf ears. And meaning I'm not finding it. I'm scrolling like a crackhead through my phone trying to find his information, and I can't. So rather than continuing to do this, I will get you that information. I will post it on my website. Okay. So far, he's been doing a great job providing insurance coverage for landlords that I didn't think we would be able to do. So sorry, I don't have it at my fingertips. I'm trying, but I do have insurance brokerage information for an company that would be more than happy to help you with getting you insured or doing their best to get you insured. Because yes, insurance is a huge issue right now in California. A lot of insurance companies, like State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I'm trying to remember, do I have State Farm or do I have Farmers? I have one of those, okay? I don't know if it's State Farm or Farmers. Is that bad? And I told them, hey, I'm gonna want to do something and change some insurance that I have around. And she blatantly said, Patty, we're not writing policies in California. Don't change anything. Okay. So I do understand your concerns with insurance. I do know that it's becoming a problem. It's getting harder and harder to be insured in California. And you can call Blake. Thank you, my friend, Miss BC. You can call Blake. His number is, and he's an insurance broker. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, BC. And like I said, he's done great getting our clients here with Widget's Way insured where we thought they wouldn't be able to. BC's one of them. So his name's Blake, and his number is 909-294-9519. And tell him you know Widget, and he'll laugh because he played golf with me, you guys, and I don't play golf. So I kept hitting the ground.
You said 909-294-9519.
Hang on, I'm gonna look again. Hang on.
909-294.
294-9519.
Thank you, Pat.
His name's Blake, and you tell him, hey, you played golf with Widget. She said we could call you for insurance. He'll laugh because it was not golf. I don't play golf. I was there. I hit the ground more than I hit the ball, and he'll laugh about that. So use that to your advantage. Tell him, hey, I know she's not a great golfer, but she's pretty good with property management questions. But the big joke with him is I don't play golf. So you guys use that to your advantage. Talk about that. He's a great guy. He provides insurance where we didn't think we'd be able to insure things, not just with BC, but he's done some stuff for Hilda and some of my other owners. So far, he's been phenomenal and been able to do things otherwise that we couldn't get done. So give him a try. It's worth a shot, you guys. I did a lot of business with this company, Vineyard Insurance, out of Apple Valley. Please tell them Val Clark referred. I still have a policy with them for a manufactured home that nobody else would insure. Get it? Worth getting a quote. Perfect. There you guys go. Teamwork, right? But yes, insurance right now is a nightmare. It's even hard for renters to get insurance right now. Just so you know, renters insurance is not something that's an easy policy to get in California currently. I know because I'm trying to finagle something along those lines and I can't get it. So with that said, watch yourself. You don't want to have no coverage, but give Blake a call. So far, he's been extremely successful in getting my clients insured where we thought, oh God, it's not gonna happen. No, he's been great. So give him a ring. Tell him Widget sent you. Tell him he owes me another round of golf. I'm sorry. If you guys would have seen me hit, and it's funny because we learned something when I played golf. I hit the ball perfectly straight every time, but it only goes 100 yards. I can't make it go any further than 100 yards. So we played as a team and we needed to go 100 yards straight. So they'd come get me. Patty, we need you to hit the ball. Okay, you got to do this. Okay. Goes perfectly straight every time, but only 100 yards, not any further than that. So if you ever want to play golf and you only need to go 100 yards, call me. I gotcha. Again, not my thing, but great guy. That was a great event. I'd do that again, just so you guys know. All right, moving on to business. What else do we got? And yes, I'm drinking a Red Bull, so you're in trouble now. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about or discuss?
Hi, Patty. This is Sherry. I have two questions. The first one, two roommates. One is leaving, and they're really, really nice tenants. So I'm writing them a letter saying that the security deposit is to be handled between the two of them. And also the current lease will be in effect for the remaining tenant. Is that sufficient, or do I need to include anything else?
I wouldn't do anything. Don't put anything.
Nothing.
No, you want to know why?
Why?
Because you're currently in a lease term and one tenant is moving out. You cannot control who lives in your property, but the person that's there can be responsible for all of the rent. Look at it this way. Think of it like a marriage and a divorce, okay? Let's pretend for a minute that that's a husband and wife in there and they're having some marital problems. Wife says, screw this, I'm out, I'm leaving. We can't make her live there. But the husband would still be responsible to pay the entire amount of the rent, even though the wife left. Same concept, okay? So technically, if one of the roommates is moving out, there's nothing you need to do because you don't allocate security deposits until the property is vacant.
Yeah, she understands that. She just
Okay.
said she wants me to remove her from the lease. That's why I thought
They
this.
want to be removed from the lease, you'd be more than happy to do that once the term expires, but you cannot remove them from the lease. They're still financially responsible until the end of the term.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Hey
Okay.
Patty, this is Erica.
Hi.
Hey, I have a quick question. I have an
Yes.
18-day abandonment. That 18-day has, in San Bernardino County, has expired. Is there any legal parameters I need to abide by keeping the tenant's possessions?
Let me ask you, is this an 18-day notice of abandonment of real property or of personal property?
Real property.
So it's of the house.
Yes.
Okay. And have they come forward in 18 days?
No.
Have they also left abandoned personal property on the premises?
Yes, and we have notification that the tenant is incarcerated.
Did you serve both notices at the same time?
No.
So do you have a notice of belief of abandonment of real property and of personal property?
I don't think of personal.
Look at it this way. Now that you got the house back after 18 days of them not coming forward, now you have to allocate their personal property left behind. So what I usually do is both of those at the same time.
Oh, no. 18
So-
more days?
Yep.
Okay.
It's
All right.
it's the only way to keep you safe. Does that
Yes,
make sense? Okay,
yes. All right, thank you.
no problem. Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, this is Suri again. I have the
Okay.
second part of my question, not the
Go
second part,
ahead.
a different question. I'm a little confused. LA RSO, as far as AB 1482, is it subject to or exempt?
When it comes to a property, trying to figure out what governs you, only one thing can govern you at a time. If you're in LA City under RSO, then you're exempt from maybe 1482 because RSO is more restrictive than the state's rent control.
Got it.
So let me say it to you this way. When it comes to restrictions, the one that restricts you the most is the one that controls you.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
So if you're good, great, but let's keep talking about this. So if you're in LA City, RSO, in a 3-unit triplex, you're governed by RSO, which is more restrictive than the state of California's AB 1482. So when you stick your head up out of the sand, it's RSO that governs you. If RSO doesn't govern you and you stick your head up further, then the state governs you. Got it?
Got it.
When it comes to restrictions, the one that restricts you the most is who controls you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem, anytime. So if you were exempt from something under Larceau and you said, okay, I'm free from that, then the state would cover you. Make sense? So you think you can run and hide, but you can't. Larceau is more restrictive than anything else out there currently. So Larceau would control. Next question. Anybody?
Really quick, where can we find for section 8, like the maximum rents, like for the city of Whittier? What website could I look for to see what is the maximum rent for like 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, etc.?
GoSection8.com gives a great model, but they're all based on amenities. Does that make sense to you? So they have a standard that they do for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house kind of thing, but it can change or be variable based on amenities.
Right. Yeah. I just need like a rough.
HAP amount, go to GoSection8.com. There usually is a lot of information on there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. You can always call them and ask them for a HAP amount in that area. They'll usually give it to you. HAP amount, housing something provider. Housing assistance provider, HAP? Yeah. I'm trying. Uh-oh, Val's got a whopper for us. Hang on. I just evicted a tenant. Took 4 months. Ouch. Yeah, ouch. The tenant didn't move anything out, even after receiving the 7-day notice from the sheriff. It should be a 5-day from the sheriff. A week later, the sheriff allowed them to get their pets and a few belongings, but kicked them out. Yes, that's what they do. We changed the locks and installed alarms. My assistant had to call the sheriff back since there was somebody living in a tent in the backyard. Yeah, they'll do that. When we find the tenant had just leased the backyard to someone who had recently planted a huge pot farm of 150 plants. The pot farmer paid my tenant $10,000 and the stupid tenant never paid rent, or else this business could have gone on undiscovered. Oh well. The end is creepy. Tenant and pot farmers came back 4 times, broke into the house and the garage and took all the pot plants, of course. The cops were never helpful with the break-ins, but at least they are gone and we already have a potential tenant. What a nightmare. I've had my fair share of grow houses where they've modified the electrical meter, done all kinds of stuff. I even had one. Okay, so an owner calls me one day while I'm working in corporate America and says, Patty, got a letter from code enforcement. They're charging me for $750 for an emergency board up. Do you know what this is about? Hell no, I have no idea, but I'll go out to the property and have a look. I get out to the property and it's locked up, the gate's locked, there's padlocks everywhere, and there's a notice stuck on every single window of the house, but nothing stuck on the gate. So I have to climb up the fence, jump over the top, climb down the other side of the fence, go through the yard so I can read the note so I know what happened, where we're at, what's going on. Code enforcement charged them for an emergency board up because the sheriff's department raided the house for drugs. I had no idea. No idea. Yeah. So I get a phone call from a landlord who gets a bill from code enforcement for a legal lockout or emergency board up for $750. Owner has no idea what that's about. I don't even know what that's about. So I drive over to the property and find out it's been raided. It's a grow house. And now I have to convince code enforcement that I'm an agent for the owner so that I get the house back because they don't even want to release it to me. Nightmare. It took me about 3 weeks to get the house back for the owner. That was a nightmare. I'm not allowed to go in the Hesperia code enforcement department anymore. They don't like me. I'm a little too vocal. What is this, extortion? Not only do we have to worry about tenants stealing our houses from us, but now we have to worry about code enforcement doing it too? Oh, I was extremely vocal. They prefer if I call in, if I need assistance, rather than come into their facility. Patty, vocal? Never. Oh yeah, I pitched a bitch. I screamed and yelled. I stomped my feet. I threatened to call law enforcement because they stole a house. What do you mean you won't give me access? You don't own it. Your name's not on title. Need to renew real estate license. Any company you think to use? First Tuesday. Google them online. First Tuesday. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. First Tuesday. Got it? And make sure it's First Tuesday real estate. Could do it all online. Makes it easy peasy. Yes, they tampered with the electricity by using jumper cables to the electrical pole. You guys hear that? They tampered with the electricity by putting jumper cables to the electrical pole. I had tenants that bypassed my breaker box and ran 220 straight to an outlet and bypassed the entire main breaker and all the breakers in the box. They did not have any power otherwise. They still have the water in their name. I guess I may have to put the water in my name today. Yeah, you might have to. Patty, I know you said never ever use a tenant's vendor. How to respond to her though? She gave me a licensed contractor. This is for move out. I never ever use a tenant's vendor. Usually it's their uncle or a friend of theirs that's gonna pad the bill and then give them the difference. Or they're not gonna do the work properly, or they're not a licensed contractor. So the big thing I do is the same thing you would do if you were hiring a contractor to work at your property. I need to be listed as additional insured or interested party on the contractor's insurance policy. Right? So that's one way to combat that. You want to make sure that this contractor has insurance and that you're covered. And that's one way to do it, is to make sure you're listed as additional insured or interested party. That way, if the contractor does some shady stuff, you just call the insurance company and file a claim, because as an additional insured, you have that capability. So be very cautious when it comes to using a tenant contractor, their workmen. Let me tell you a secret, okay? One day, okay? I listened to a tenant whine and cry at me about how her brother was a licensed contractor and she rented this house and the guy she was living with will beat her up and beat up the house, and there was domestic violence going on, and she doesn't live this way, but she didn't want to leave me a house with all these busted doors and everything. So she was going to have her brother, who was a licensed contractor, come over and do all the work. I didn't agree with it. The property manager approached me as the regional manager, and I said, I don't like this one freaking bit. I never want to use a tenant's vendor or contractor ever, 7 times never. And she said, let me call the owner and see what he wants to do. So we talked to the owner. The guy had insurance. We were listed as additional insured or interested party on the contractor's insurance. That contractor did such a good job trying to save his sister's name that I ended up hiring him to do all of our contracting for our company. So every once in a while, one of those works out, but 99 out of 100 suck. Okay. 99 out of 100 suck. One actually worked out, and I actually used him for years. And then I left the company. The company still continued to use that contractor. So, hey, you never know, but proceed with caution. Cover your asset to the best of your ability. Make sure that you're insured. Make sure that you're listed as an additional insured on their policy. That way, if they are climbing in the attic to install a new ceiling fan and they fall through the attic, you can file a claim for the damage on their insurance company. Okay, that's the why behind it. What else should I ask the licensed contractor? I did check his license myself and it was valid until the end of this year. Insurance, very important. You want to be listed as additional insured or interested party on his policy. Very, very, very important. Anybody got anything else? Patty's hungry, so I want to go eat my lunch if you guys are done.
Tell us the difference between additional insured and or interest party. Which one's better, please?
Some insurance companies will not do additional insured. They will only do interested party. If that's the case, pick and choose your battle, okay? Additional insured means that you are also insured. So you can file a claim, you can do all kinds of things because you're additionally insured. So it's kind of like your policy kind of thing, okay? So you can call the insurance company, you can file a claim, you can do all kinds of things as an additional insured. A lot of policies won't do that. So what you want is interested party. And you're like, okay, Patty, additionally insured totally protects me because I can file a claim if I don't like the work they did. How does interested party help me? This works on all insurances, even your tenant's renter's insurance, okay? Even your tenant's renter's insurance. You want to be listed as an interested party if they won't additionally insure you. The reason that you do is if the tenant doesn't make their monthly payment and they get a letter saying that the policy is going to be canceled, you're going to get the same letter saying that their policy is going to be canceled for non-payment. That's when you want to do your 3-day curable breach of covenant because they're in violation of their rental agreement by not having insurance. So what it does is it tips you off that their insurance is going to be canceled so that you can do your job and start serving your notices. That's why additionally insured or interested party is so important. Interested party is what helps us, for the most part, keep track of tenants' insurance and also our vendors' insurance as that's coming through. You know, you want to make sure that the guy doing roofs is covered and that he has insurance. So you got to make sure that you know if their policy is going to be canceled. Okay. I saw you, BC. Hang on. I got more questions coming in. How do I split the painting bill for move out if some of the walls are damaged? they're responsible for damage. So have your painter give you an itemized bill on what was damaged and what was just general painting so that you can charge the tenant accordingly. In other words, don't work smarter, not harder, and just ask your vendor to give you an itemized invoice, because then you don't have to figure it out. They've done it for you. At least for each room, there's one wall that's damaged because the tenant put an unauthorized TV for every room. No, they made holes in the walls. Okay, and my girl's got some questions. I promised her I'd answer them on here, so hang on, let me get back to them. I changed a tenant's rental date for them, but they keep ignoring the date. Should I send another notice? Yes, you should. You should give them a 3-day pay rent or quit once their rent's delinquent, and give them a curable breach of covenant notice for not having their insurance current. So a curable breach of covenant for not having their insurance current. And then the other notice that you want to serve, and I already lost it, I have to go back, would be a pay rent or quit if they're not paying you on the day that the rent is due. So 3-day pay rent or quit for the rent due. Once it's delinquent, you want to serve that 3-day because it's sending the message. And I know exactly which tenant you're talking about, and she's extremely challenging. So when you change her due date to accommodate her, and then she doesn't pay the rent, 3-day her on the first day it's delinquent. Example, rent's due on the 15th, you want to serve a 3-day on the 16th. And I'm just giving you an example. The first day it's delinquent is when you can serve that 3-day notice. The problem is your tenant's on Section 8 and you can't serve a 3-day. You have to serve a 30-day pay rent or quit. Okay, so 3-day pay rent or quit, or a 30-day pay rent or quit on the rent, and then a 3-day cure or quit on the insurance. And that should be easy peasy for that one. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about? No? I can go eat. If you guys are free this weekend and you want to do some physical labor, give me a call, hit me up, come on up to the high desert. I have no problem giving you a paintbrush or showing you how to lay hardwood floorings. I'm teasing you guys, I'm being funny, but yes, I am diligently working on trying to flip a house. All right, you guys, if nobody else has anything, you guys have a wonderful week. I don't know what's for lunch yet, but I told them to order me something. Hang on, I might have a couple more questions. All right, if anybody needs anything else, feel free to give me a call. All right? You guys
Patty,
have a
wait,
Yes.
Patty, please
Yes.
mention to everyone that the Prop 20 is coming, Renters for Justice, to pass it on to everyone to vote no. Do you agree?
Why would I not agree with that? Justice for renters, vote no, you guys. Everybody got that? They're coming back with more and more protections for tenants in California. Go figure. We don't need any more protections for tenants. We need more protections for landlords, but they're not going to give it to us because we're the minority. Justice for
Patty,
renters.
Before you
Yes.
go, you know how you say we need you to just call you, but what number do we call you at? Like, I have no idea. I always call you through my attorney because you're there.
Well, that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me, huh?
Yeah. Well, not really, because if you're on the phone, then I have to keep calling back, and then I think I annoy everyone at the office.
Send me an email at pattyl@fastevic.com. Hey, Patty, call me when you have a chance. I have a question. Give me a phone number. As soon as I get a minute, I'll call you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
It's easier that way.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? All right, you guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon. And if anybody needs anything else, you guys know how to hunt me down. I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, Patty.
Bye.